time to reflect on them. So on these, I used the IB rubric. So we're going to go through how the IB rubric was used in grading this. And we're also going to, I did give you a traditional score as well. So I'll go over how I graded both of those, how the scoring works. Because we've not yet started using all the standards to grade everything, I did give you a normal score. If you turned it in a little late, I don't have it quite done just yet, but I do have everyone else there. So when I go through this, take it. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is how did the rubric work? So we're going to look here, look along the side here. That'll tell you your scores, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I will circle how you did on each criterion in that appropriate box with the explanation for why you got that certain score. I did it on both sides, so you can see how you did both in communicating and in applying mathematical in the real life. So let's for now just look at the first two pieces there. We'll start off pretty easily. Our statement of inquiry was diverse forms in space can use patterns to reveal their interconnectedness. So we're looking at how we can intertwine this geometric aspect with other aspects in our everyday life, specifically art and design. So as we're going through these, do try to keep the ATL skills in mind. So organization, critical thinking, transfer skills, creative thinking, as well as our IB traits. So let's go ahead, let's look at the first 2 points. Just list 2 things that went well, and not 2 things that didn't go well, but just 2 things that could have gone better. Alright, would anyone like to share 2 things that they felt went well with this project? But
Drawing the actual logo and choosing the translation that we did.
okay, and why do you think those things in particular went well? Or why did you pick those as the things that went well? What was good for your project?
Well, I think the most easy part was actually doing the logo because I had an idea of what I wanted to do and the thing that I did on some pretty geometric already, and so I had a pretty easy idea.
Okay. You did the Olympics, right? So you likely were able to incorporate the Olympics into this design project? Nice. Alright, how about anything that maybe didn't go as well? You wish maybe was a little bit smoother. Again, not necessarily something that went poorly, but just something that could have gone a little better. Right?
My explanation.
Okay. What do you think you could have improved about it?
I could have focused more on like the actual mathematical parts of it instead of explaining why I chose different parts of the game to do something on.
Okay. Good. Great.
I think with Riley, like elaboration on the mathematical aspect.
Very good. Yeah, one thing I did notice, you guys, I felt a little bad because some of you guys did a really great job of describing your situation and your logo and your companies that you're creating, and you kind of deviated from the geometry a little bit and spent a long time, and they sounded like great ideas, they sounded like wonderful companies. We just kind of got a little stuck down that path and then kind of forgot to also discuss the geometry. Yeah?
So first was my wording and grammar.
Okay.
And like the writing itself. And then the use of transformations and cancellation vocabulary in the writing.
So just being explicit with the language you're using.
Yeah.
Good. Anybody else? Alright, sounds good. Let's move on to that next section. What skills did you use during the unit, and what could you do to improve in the future? So there's a lot of skills that went into this. It's not just your mathematical skills, okay? So understanding the geometry, understanding the vocabulary. But your design skills as well, your art skills, and even softer skills. So your patience, your organization skills, okay? Your creative thinking skills, not just only the math skills. And then also incorporate, think about your writing. as well. What skills did you need to use for your write-up? Is one thinker, communicator, risk taker, knowledgeable, and reflective. So those IB traits, incorporate that with your skills in this as well. All right. If you're still writing, that's okay. Go ahead and include a couple more. But would anyone like to share some of the skills that you usually use? Sarah?
Geography skills.
Your geography or geometry?
Geography.
Geography skills. Oh, because you did the Olympics, you incorporated some map features as well into your drawing. Good. Anybody else? Bella?
Creativity skills and being open-minded to different type of designs and shapes.
Good. Yeah, so that was one thing that I think was a little tricky for some people, was once you came up with a design, it was hard to get your mind to adjust it in any way, right? So we kind of got one idea, and we got not necessarily stuck with one idea, but it was hard to rethink it and reimagine it. So that was good that you took some time to try to look at it from different perspectives.
Productivity skills, which you can relate to principal.
Okay.
Because I finished the design super quickly because I work productively. Creative skills, which I would relate to thinker, because it's easy to think, you have to have creative ideas.
Alright, very good. Thank you. Yeah, I will say you did a good job. And I think this one fits your skill set well. So that was why you were able to make it a little more productive, because it was maybe a little more fun than other projects. Riley?
Art and precision skills, because you can be precise with your translations or else they won't be the right translations. And art because you can draw it.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was, everyone kind of had some things they were really good at, and it was clear everyone had a couple things that were a little trickier for them, okay? And I think that's one thing I liked about this project was you needed all those skills to come together, and it gave you the opportunity to work on things you maybe don't normally work on. Some people are really good artists in this classroom. Some people are better mathematicians. Some people are better at being precise. And so we all had something we could have been a little bit better at. Not that we necessarily were lacking in any way, but just we could always be better.